Hi, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your October 16th to the 31st, 2020 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they are all located in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from your body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. All right. Now let's let the bulls sing while we see what the tarot has to say. Cancer, October 16th to the 31st, 2020 Cancer. 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 Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Okay. All right. Now let's see what your chakra message is for this time. Cancer, October 16th to the 31st, 2020 Cancer. October 16th to the 31st, 2020 Cancer. October 16th to the 31st, 2020 Cancer. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Oh, fantastic. 4. Beautiful. And we're starting off with my favorite, I am presence. Now, this is the crown chakra. And why I get so excited about this card is because we always need to be reminded of the words and of what is crowning us. The way I really like to think of the crown chakra is literally of the crown that you wear upon your head. Just visualize, just sit back for a moment and visualize somebody presenting you with a crown in this beautiful, velvet box, and it gets opened up and your crown is there. What type of crown is it? Is it something big and showy and just, eye-catching and awing? Is it something small and demure, but still astoundingly powerful? Is it broken? Is it tarnished? What is your crown? Do you not see a crown at all? Do you not believe yourself worthy of wearing one? This is a time to look at the thoughts that surround you, to look at the truth that is a part of you. Do you see a beautiful crown? But no, it's not meant for your head. This is a time to crown yourself. This is a time to say, I am changing my outlook. I'm changing the way that I view me, to be able to have this prosperity, to be able to have this bounty, to be able to have this abundance in my life, because I am enough. I am royalty within my own life. I am king, I am queen, I am ruler of my existence. What is your I am presence? Is it I am strong, I am powerful, I am bountiful, I am worthy? Or Is it, I'm sad, I'm overwhelmed, I'm never going to get there, everything is so hard, I'm always failing? And why I name these is not to put them around you and say this is what it is, but to see which one resonates with your heart, your soul, and yourself more. Because that's where the work needs to be done then. To change the I am presence, to write it in your calendar on your phone and have it ring every single day to tell you that I am enough. I am enough. And the first time I heard that, I raged against it internally. I really did. I thought there is so much more that I need to succeed at. There is so much on my plate. I'm drowning in everything that needs to be done. I'm not close to being enough, and how dare you trick me into thinking that I'm almost there. That was my gut reaction to it. And I thought, ooh, that's a little bit violent and intense. And so I look at it. Now I look at it and say, I am enough. I am powerful. I am in each situation I need to be in order to move me forward in a way that moves me forward in the judgment, in the beauty, and in the ferocity of my own soul and my own self. I am. I am fierce. I am powerful. I am enough. Write that, with dry erase marker on your what are those, windows? There we go. On your mirrors. Write it and see it and let it be a part of you. Take a journal and just write it down over and over again. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. That is going to be astoundingly powerful for you. And it's going to be something that takes time and effort. And there are going to be days where you absolutely have it down pat. And there are going to be days where it feels like the furthest from the truth. And then we have clarity. This is the third eye chakra. This is your third eye opening up. This is you seeing things much more openly, much more honestly, much more prosperously than you had seen things before. This is a clarity to your being, to your soul, to yourself. And this is trusting your instincts. This is trusting also what cannot always be seen, what isn't always understood. There's a clarity to you that's coming forward. And then we have peace. Again, the crown chakra. Being crowned with peace is a beautiful thing. It doesn't mean everybody else has to agree with it. It means that this is your peace for you. This is your calm. This is your quiet. This is your center. This is what you need, what you desire, and what you want from your life and for your life. This is the peace that moves you to something more. And again, look at that crown. See, does it radiate peace for you? Or is it a burden that you do not want? So then the crown doesn't have to be so big. Is it adding to your existence? Or is it subtracting? Because right now, you need to crown yourself in peace. And it could be, a wreath of flowers upon the head. Peace that moves you. And peace that is a part of you. And then we have balance. This is the root chakra. This is a balance of the masculine and feminine aspects of the self. This is also a balance of the self, of what we desire, of the way that we evolve as individuals. And for some strange reason, Shakespeare came to mind. And it was always considered, back in the time of Shakespeare, which is the Elizabethan era, that a man can never understand a woman's mind, and a woman can never understand a man's mind, which I know is completely out of context with what we believe now. But there is that balance and that peace of saying, this is me. This is what I desire and what I want, and finding like-minded people that do not need to be contrasting. And I don't know why Spirit is saying that, but it is a sense here of a centering of yourself within the power of you. And it can even be just a centering of yourself within you. It's like, this is my strength. This is who I am. And if you're like me, okay, I don't really like to argue. I don't really like to yell. And those things just completely repel me. So if you're a more quiet individual, or if you're a more fiercer individual, you have to move towards the balance of your strengths. And it came to me in the what is it, As You Like It, in Shakespeare, but it is a powerful truth, and also I believe The Tempest, but it is a powerful truth, and it is a way forward. And you're going to see that balance within yourself, within your soul. And it's a balance of what you desire, of where you need to be, but it's also a balance of the wheels of the chariot that move you forward. And that's what you're going to see here, that there's a ferocity to you. And it doesn't have to be a ferocity that everybody else sees as, oh my gosh, that's so fierce, that's so strong. It can be the kindest, gentlest way forward. But here's the thing, and I think so many people forget this, to stay kind, to stay true to yourself, to have a heart that is open and warm. in this world of chaos, in this world where if you can yell louder than the next person, it means you're better. That is a beautiful thing. To be able to be at peace with yourself and powerful within the love and compassion that you have within your soul. That is true abundance. Yeah, it really is. Now, on the left-hand side, this is your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self. The right-hand side is your public arena, your public self. So let's see what they have to say. So we have the Chariot right here. And I love this Chariot because, as you'll see when I'm done, this is a motorcycle, so it's very cool. And it's you moving forward. And then you're moving forward this way, that way. Which way do you choose? How do you balance your life? How do you have what you want and what you need coming together? And it leads you to the 10 of Pentacles, prosperity that lasts for generations. It then brings the Page of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. A powerful energy, especially if you're born on the cusp with Leo. There is a sense here of being a student of your passion, being a student of what you desire, looking at things more openly, more honestly for yourself, and then justice comes in. And there is a justice that is needed. There is a sense here of being just to yourself, for yourself, of sitting there and being discerning, and really sitting there and saying, this is what I need for me, because what you need for you as an individual and what the person sitting right next to you needs for themselves is going to be really quite different, but it's still going to be astoundingly powerful. And you may have the same basic, ingredients, but the way you put the dish together is going to be so different and so uniquely powerful and palatable to you. And then we have your emotional self. And we start off with the Queen of Swords. So this is the heart and the mind coming together. This is a sense of gaining an understanding and also a ferocity. It's being a bit more like you put your foot down and this is what you want and this is what you need and this is what needs to be done. And it's a powerful truth for you. And then brings you to the Three of Cups. Now the Three of Cups for me is the people who celebrate us, okay? And it's the people who celebrate us, yes, that love us and honor us and care for us. But it's also the people who were supposed to have our backs, that just couldn't celebrate us, just couldn't be there. They wanted to be, or we thought they were. We thought they were in our corner, but they're just not. And that can leave a really big scar because you want to be able to have this celebration with them. And it could even make you doubt your own prosperity, the way that you move forward. And it's really looking at the people who are there for you and not overlooking them, because we tend to, as human beings, we tend to look at the people who don't embrace us and say, okay, I'm going to win them over. And the people who do love and cherish us for who we are, even if it's just our angels, our spirit guides, that connection with divinity, we tend to overlook it and say, oh, well, I need more. It's like, no, well, that's a really good foundation for which to start with. And then you have here the Tower. And the Tower is divinity saying, you know what, it's time for a change. And it's ready or not, here it comes. And you could have been going through a Tower time for 16 years, okay? And now you're starting to see things more openly, more honestly. But there's a sense here of a fear of when the next shoe will drop, when everything will fall apart. And you're moving, really, your heart is moving in a change. It feels chaotic within you at times, and it can feel astoundingly overwhelming and doubting, and you know that you're supposed to be moving some way, but there's the brakes on, and you're like, why are the brakes on? And so here there's this sense of a force, almost of nature, and it can be of your nature coming out of this change and being fiercer, more than you had thought you would be. But there also can be a sense of being a little bit. It's a little bit colder. It doesn't mean that you can't be compassionate and kind or anything like that, but it's a little bit wiser than before. It's kind of like, no, there needs to be boundaries, there needs to be an understanding. And in the public arena, we start with the Six of Wands. So it's time to start celebrating yourself. It's time to start really letting in your beauty. It then leads you to the Devil, which is Capricorn energy. This is a time frame of December 22nd to January 19th. There can be a sense of being tempted, of really being tempted by things that you know aren't good for you, aren't how you should be moving forward, isn't where you really need to stand. And it's looking at what the world is telling you, oh, you should really want this. You should really move forward this way. Oh, you should really be like this. And you have to move forward in your truth, in your honor, and in yourself. And not let addictions, doubts, and fears hold you back. Then we have the Seven of Swords. You're taking what is needed. You're leaving the rest. and you're finding a way forward that is absolutely right for you. And it makes you, and you end right here with the Knight of Cups, it makes you the defender of your heart, your soul, yourself, the beauty that is so powerfully a part of you. Now let's see the people you need to be, let's see the people who will aid you during this time. Who are the people who will aid Cancer, October 16th to the 31st, 2020 Cancer? Who are the people who will aid Cancer, October 16th to the 31st, 2020 Cancer? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. So we're going to start here with the Prince of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, right? You are very drawn to the logical, or what is perceived as logical for you, of course, during this time. And there is a sense here of this person being kind of fast-paced, very much cutting to the heart of the matter, defending what they believe in. And what they believe in is aligning with what you believe in and the way that you want to move forward. Now, with the people who aid us, and then later on, the people that we need to be mindful of, do note that, that these people do not have to be people we know in real life. We could read a poem by them. We could, watch a TV show and be inspired by somebody who has these characteristics. And this is the heart of the message that is coming across to you, and it's coming to you. There's a sense here of needing to move forward, of needing to know your mind, know what it is that you desire, cut to the very heart of the matter, and go forward in that direction. There's also a bit of a warning, as there always is with the Knight of Swords, of not moving so quickly as to kind of, trip over your own feet type of thing. Make sure that you have things laid out, that you've done your research, you know what is needed, what you desire, and then you kind of go for the kill. And that's going to be very good for you. You go for that embrace of passion, prosperity, desire, what your mind wants, what your heart is in alignment with. And it's like, I move forward in this, this determination of self. It leads you to the Queen of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is a sense of, a person who is ready to roll up their sleeves. This is a fire. This is the reason you get out of bed in the morning. They really speak to that passion, to that determination. There's something, you have the cat right here that's hidden under her chair in this deck right here. There are a lot of cats in there. So there's this independent, kind of companion understanding that's a part of you that can seem hidden at times, but that this person helps bring out. There's a fire, there's a passion, there's a brilliance, there's a truth. At times you are going to disagree with this fire sign energy. You're going to be like, well, that's not right for me. Take what they say, take what resonates with you and leave the rest. And maybe you'll come back to it at one time or another, and you'll find, okay, now this makes more sense to me, or, oh, I get what they were saying there. And that's really going to help you move forward, because it's honing your passion. It's honing what you desire. It's being more behind the scenes than having to be seen by everyone. But there is a sense of profound grace and profound understanding that comes with it. Then you have the Princess of Wands. Now, this is a person who, of course, isn't as mature as the Queen of Wands. This is a person who is passionate, determined, has kind of new insights, new ideas, and they don't have to be younger than the Queen of Wands at all. Actually, this could be a young person. This could be an older person, or a more mature person. But there is a sense here of this person being kind of having figured more things out. Kind of, okay, I know what works for me. This is where I'm set. They have a more mature soul to them. This person can have a very young soul to them, a very kind of exploratory, figure it out through trial and error type of thing. Like, oh, it's okay to fall down, to fail, to look at things in a new way. And they just have this exuberance to them. And they will always have this exuberance to them. That's what this person is all about. They have this passion, this brilliance, this power. And as you are looking at them, and as they are sharing their knowledge, they're helping you see things in such a different way. And they're helping you claim an independence of mind and a passion of spirit that really does help you move forward. And it can just be that you start thinking about things and words start tumbling in your head. And you're like, should I go this way? Should I go that way? What is right for me? And it's really saying here, to be just to yourself and to follow what balances you, to follow what brings you peace, to follow what seems to be clearer, seems to give more of an understanding, and what makes you feel as if you're on the right path. We don't always know if we're on the right path, and we might be on the right path for today or this week or, this month or this year, and it might change later on down the road, and that's completely fine. We tend to think at times, okay, if I pick this and I did this, I have to do it forever, or I have to move forward this way forever. There's a fierceness of your heart, Cancer, and there always is a fierceness of your heart. You are represented by the Chariot in the major arcana. That's the tanks of the ancient world. Those are the heavy hitters. So when people sit there and they see Cancer and they're like, oh, how loving, how sweet, how kind, they also don't see the fierceness of your soul, the passion of yourself, how nobody can tell you how to love or when to love or what to love. And so here there is a moving forward in the balance of your heart's truth. And yes, at times you might get confused. It might be like, oh my gosh, am I doing the right thing? Keep your emotional understanding, like what brings you peace, as your true north. And then see it grow. What makes you feel calmer inside? What makes you feel loved? What makes you feel cherished? What makes you feel an active part of the brilliance of this universe? And what calls to your soul? Because your waters run so deep. And this is really embracing that power of emotion and that brilliance of truth. And knowing that you're not going the wrong way. That every way we choose, even if we're sitting there and we're looking at everything and we're just watching the world fall down around us. Who hasn't been there with that? You haven't made a mistake. There is something to be learned. I'm not talking about horrific things, but I'm talking about, I'm talking about learning. I'm talking about an empowerment of the soul and of the self. And I am seeing here that there is prosperity that is lasting for generations that is around you. Like your angels are guiding you. Prosperity is coming to you. There is this sense of power about you. And the 10 of Pentacles is wealth or something you value as much as money. And as much as I would love it to be that we all, win the lottery and there's just zillions and billions of dollars or billions of zillions, there we go, of dollars for everybody. Spirit doesn't always see wealth as being the greatest prelude to happiness or even the prelude to happiness at all. There is a sense here of a completion of a cycle when it comes to finances, a completion of a way of looking at things. There is a bounty. There is a beauty to you. There is something that gets passed on. And it doesn't mean that you have to have a family or, anything like that. But there is a way that through your interactions with people, that there is a spark or a brilliance, a wealth that you leave within them. It can just be giving somebody a smile as you walk along, your way, as you're a part of as you're living your life. There we go. And that sets the seeds of bounty around you. And that also starts to change things. Because when we smile, our brains take it in that we're happy. Even when we're sad, if we sit there and say, okay, I'm going to smile, or I'm going to watch something funny, and I'm just going to laugh, it actually helps our minds. It helps improve us. And so here, there's a bounty, there's a brilliance to you. And it comes through a lightening of the heart. It comes through an easing of the worries and the burdens. And I do know with the state of the world and everything like that, it can feel like the burdens will never be lightened. But there is an enlightenment that is around you. And there is a prosperity that is such an intricate part of you that needs to be embraced. This is also a time where, you have the very essence of you shining through in the cards. And this is a time of saying, you know what, I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. I don't need to change innately who I am to be a successful individual, to be a happy individual, to have that sense of contentment in my life. And then it makes you, right here, a student of your passion, of your power, of the way that you want to move forward, of what it is that you desire from your existence. It is being a student of why you get out of bed in the morning, what lights your fire, what do you need, what do you love, what do you want. And as you're looking at these things, you're looking at you so much more openly, so much more honestly. And it's kind of like what Spirit is saying is that we are always learning. And I forget who said it, but like when we stop learning, we stop really living. And so here, it is always being a student of the passion that drives you forward, of the of the fire that you have within your soul, within yourself, within your determination to walk your path. And as you're looking at this, you're seeing justice come in. And justice is always so interesting. It's a Libra energy, of course, a time frame of September 23rd to October 22nd. But justice is also discernment. What is just for you is going to be, that might not be just for somebody else. What you see as being very fair might not be fair for somebody else. This is living in your justice. And this is also not having things be black or white. You know, black ink, white page, things have to be spelled out, and they cannot vary. There's a level of compassion here. There's also a level, you know, if you see, her eyes aren't fully closed. She's looking at the fighting cats. You're looking at the warring natures of ourselves. We're looking at the shadow self right here with the black cat, and the daytime self, or the self that we want to be shown with the white cat, or vice versa, however you want to see it. There is a sense of understanding that there, and this is so odd for spirit, not odd, but the shadow self is the vicious side of us. It is the side that we don't like. Okay? It's the uncompassionate side. It's the judging, angry, fretful, fierce side of ourselves. It's the side that can do horrible things, and say it was justified. And that is part of justice, as we see justice evolve, throughout humanity. We see the consciousness of human beings evolve. And what we view as acceptable and what we view as not acceptable, it's quite different. And 100 years ago, justice was quite different than justice today. 200 years ago, more profoundly so. And so here, it is looking at that justice within you, and is saying, I need to walk a path that is just for me. I need to make my choices based off of what I desire, of what I see, of what I know, and of where I need to be. And during this time, that's going to be so powerful for you, because that's going to be your prosperity, and that's going to lead to your prosperity, to your bounty. It's not trying to be somebody else or trying to fit in, because you might not fit in, and you might sit there and say, I don't understand why I don't fit in, why I can't just be like everybody else. And what it is saying here is because you weren't meant to. You were meant to stand out. You were meant to be different. You were meant to be kind and just, and a powerful individual who moves forward, knowing your mind, knowing what it is that you desire, cutting through doubts and fears, knowing where you stand and what you stand for. And it doesn't mean every moment of every day you have to have this clear understanding of everything for you. It just simply means that you are embracing this logic, this truth, this understanding, and this power. And your heart and your mind are coming together, especially since here we have the Queen of Swords and the Chariot, and you in the major arcana crowning you. So this is the heart and the mind coming together. And that's important because I see us as emotional beings. And especially when we're water sign energies, okay? It can be that emotions just take over. You can feel very discouraged very easily. You can also feel very elated very easily. There can be such a depth of emotion around you all the time that it can feel like you're on a roller coaster ride. And what the Queen of Swords is doing is saying, be discerning, okay? Cut through those doubts and those fears that you have that make it feel as if you're always going to be swimming upstream. Make it feel as if you're never going to quite accomplish what it is that you need to accomplish, what it is that you want to accomplish from your life. There is a sense here of being a warrior queen, because the swords, they're the real weapons in the four suits, right? We have a staff, right, that can be a weapon, yes, but it can also be cut in half by a sword. A sword is the more go-to option. So, and there's also a level, the Spirit is saying there's also a level of mastery. There's a level of, power, of sophistication to being able to wield a sword. You can't just pick one up and all of a sudden be a fantastic swordsman. You have to train. You have to, you have to gain a feel for it. And that's what we're doing here with our minds, with our souls, with ourselves, with the mind and the heart coming together, because we're going to have inclinations. Our personalities are either going to be more logical, more kind of succinct, or they're going to be more emotional, more feeling, more intuitive. And it does not matter which proclivity you have, which way you lean. What matters is that you bring them both together. And you say, without the heart, I'm nothing. without the mind, I am nothing. And so with the balance of self, I am everything. And that's what the Queen of Swords really shows. She shows that fierceness. She shows that determination. And as you are embracing this and you're cutting through the doubts and the fears, and people can at times sit there and say, oh, Cancer, why are you being so aloof? Why aren't you really, embracing this the way that I want you to, or the way that you usually do? It's because you're being more discerning. And you can be a little bit colder because of this, because you're being more logical. And it leads you to it leads you from the Queen of Swords to the Three of Cups. It leads you to looking at the people who have hurt you, who have made you doubt yourself, who have spoken negativity over you, who are supposed to celebrate you. Either, you grew up and for some, you didn't have a parent who celebrated you, or, and you desperately wanted them to, or you didn't have anyone who celebrated you. It could be being let down by a parent, a grandparent, a teacher, a best friend, a lover. It can be whomever. They were supposed to be in your corner. And because of everything that we see on television, everything that we read in books, this was supposed to be a given. This was supposed to be a person that was on our side. And it hurts us when they're not. It hurts us when we're wrong. When we are failed in one way or another. But here's the thing. When we are failed, know that that person couldn't give us. They just couldn't. It wasn't in them to give us what we needed. But what is even sadder, it isn't in them to give themselves what they needed. And so here, when you are betrayed, because it is a betrayal, and it cuts deeply, instead of sitting there and saying, okay, I'm never going to let anybody get really close, because, look at the tower time, and look at the change that this betrayal has brought. But also look at the fierceness of self that this betrayal, and this change has brought. It has made you look at things more openly, more honestly. And there is this way that our eyes change. When you're the princess, right? Or the prince, the eyes are more wide open. There's an innocence to things. The king and the queen, they have a hardness to their eyes because they've seen the world. They've seen the world and they've seen the disappointments and they've had their hearts broken. And that is something that you're looking at here. And with the tower, it's like, okay, yeah, things have fallen apart. Yeah, things have changed. Life has stunk, or it stinks now, and you're looking at things and you're saying, how did I get here? Because there are moments in our lives, in years and sometimes decades or more in our lives, where we look at things and you're like, how did I get here? How did this become my existence? How did this become my reality? Because it's a time where divinity pushes us out of our comfort zone and says, you may not understand it now. And this is not the end game. When you're fallen down on your knees, head hung, feeling as if you're defeated from battle. That's not the end game. The power is what you do next. Do you stay defeated? Or do you pull yourself up by grit and sheer contrariness, to the situation and to maybe even life itself, and say, that's it. I'm rising. I'm rising in a way that you hadn't thought I could. I'm rising in a way that this negativity, this anger, this upset, this lack, of compassionate understanding from a person who was supposed to be in my corner made me doubt myself for years to come. For years, I felt less than because of this. And now, because I was pushed out of my comfort zone, because I see things more openly, more honestly, more truthfully for myself, because I'm fiercer and more powerful than I had realized, I am taking rubble and I am rebuilding my world. I was pushed out of my comfort zone. I was pushed out of where I wanted to be, but I will not be held back. And I will not be denied, weak, or silenced. And for a lot of us, if divinity doesn't come in and push us out of our comfort zones, push us out of the nest and have us fall and have us realize what we never ever want again, we would never change because it'd be comfortable. And we as human beings, we're really good with comfortable. We're really good with, even if it's unbearable, but it's routine. It's something we've gotten used to. And we'll find that even if we have people in our lives that hurt us, that disappointed us, especially if we're younger and they were parental figures or they were teachers or, just an authority figure, we'll find that we seek out that wound mate. We'll seek out that person who perpetuates that wound inside of us. And this is a change that's coming in and it's rocking your world. Because for a lot of you Cancers, you're done. You're done with the hurt, the pain, and the disappointment. Actually, for all of you Cancers, you're done. How you handle it is going to be where you are in your journey right now. But there is a sense here of fiery determination. There is a sense here of stubborn drive, all right? And things are changing, whether you kind of wanted them to or not. You're moving forward in a way that is so much more than had been anticipated. And then in the public arena, because you're going through this within your heart. I mean, your heart is really intensely being called upon. And in the public arena, because you're looking at things and you're laid bare. It's kind of like there's a rawness to what you are experiencing, what you're looking at, what you desire. There's a sense of starting to celebrate yourself. But it has to be a choice. I always look at the Six of Wands, and the best way that I can describe it is having a really good boss. One of those bosses that, uplifts us, that lets us work really hard, like that makes us want to work really hard for them because they compliment, they teach, they guide, they're just tremendously good at it. We've had bosses, and sometimes we haven't, but there are times where we have bosses like that, and they're just amazing. Or we see people with bosses like that, and it's just amazing. And then you have, on the other hand, the boss that, thinks being a boss, being a person of authority, is to yell and to scream and to belittle and to have nothing ever be good enough. And those people, you don't work very hard for, because you're always going to be a failure in their eyes. What type of boss are you for you? Are you the person who builds you up? Are you the person who says, good job, when you've done something well, when you've, not pushed your limits, but when you've explored your boundaries, when you've looked at things more openly, more justly for yourself, more compassionately, more powerfully? Or are you always going to say, well, you should have done that? You should have done that, and look at everything that you didn't do. Look at how far you aren't. Because your soul isn't going to be built up and as favorable towards a negative boss. Ooh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. And then we have the devil coming in. And Spirit just said the devil's in the details. These are our doubts, our fears, our angers, our upsets, our upheavals. This is the world telling us you're supposed to be this way. You're supposed to want this, you're supposed to want that. And making us doubt our path forward. This is also addictions. The devil is very much addictions that we have. Things that we think, oh, I can't live without this. I can't be as cool or as popular or as, productive if I don't. And it's like, yes, you can. You can be absolutely awesome being you. And that's a huge part of this time frame for you, Cancer. You can be absolutely awesome being an authentic, powerful, prosperous you. And the devil tempts. Here he has money. Here he has ice cream. It's like, well, what is going to tempt you? What is going to move you forward? Is it wealth and riches that you're seeking? This kind of fame as everybody applauding and approving? Or is it, the sweetness of life? Is it, the easy path, the kind of laying back, getting fed grapes type of thing, which I think would be boring within 5 seconds, and everybody's approval will never be gotten. It'll be an unrealistic, expectation. Or are you going to, and it's also a question, are you going to sacrifice everything for the almighty dollar? And that is something we have to ask ourselves. What is truly important? With the devil, it's our addictions. It's things that we think of as being so terribly important, or our fallbacks, our safety nets. It's the sense of, okay, well, when push comes to shove, I swallow my words. I will always put myself last. It doesn't have to be just drugs and alcohol and gambling, the 3 main addictions, or sex and food and shopping. It can be things that we do to ourselves that keep us from living our best life, that keep us, from living our love and in this existence and in this passion and in this truth. And that's what we're looking at here with the devil. We're looking at, the prosperity. We're seeing the prosperity. And in the public arena, you're going to have things tempt you away from that prosperity. It's very easy to fall back into bad habits. It's so easy to, sit there and say, oh, well, it's not that big a deal. But it can also be perpetuating the negativity that was spoken over you. the doubt, the fear, the anger that has become a part of you. And now now is really a time to say no more. No more. And what is happening is that here you have the repeat of the number 7. Okay, this is a number of truth, right? 7, you, as the 7th card in the major arcana, you do not like to be lied to, Cancer. You're like, listen, tell me the truth, be open, be honest, or get out of my way. That is very you. You're also very drawn to sacred wisdom, okay? Religions can have huge meaning for you, huge depth, huge understandings, but also just a sacred way forward. It can be making your own rituals, making your own way forward in this world. And there is a sense here of taking your knowledge, taking your understanding, leaving some things behind. They have the 2 swords crossed on the wall. It's like, I'm not taking those, but I am moving forward to where I need to be, to where I want to be, for myself, for my soul, for what I desire. And as you do this, yeah, people can sit there and say you're being sneaky. You're not being sneaky, you're planning. You're planning, and everybody doesn't need to know your plans because they're yours. And then we have Knight of Cups. This is determination, this is passion, this is power, this is you, defending what you love and moving forward in that love, moving forward in that grace, moving forward in that heartfelt beauty. And this is you defending your truth. During this time, you're going to have, this energy here wanting to knock you off your path. Keep on defending. Keep on standing tall within yourself. Keep on knowing that if you celebrate you, if you start to look at more of you being enough, more of you being this powerful, brilliant being than being a mistake. Because we tend to think that. So often it's like, oh, I've just made so many mistakes. Oh, this is just a mistake. It's like, no, this is a pathway forward. And as you look at this pathway forward, you look at your power, you look at your brilliance, and you claim it. You claim it. And what's really cool is that it claims you. Now let's go deeper. Cancer. October 16th to the 31st, 2020 Cancer. October 16th to the 31st, 2020 Cancer. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels, ooh, goodness. This one here. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. All right. Let's look at the people you need to be mindful of during this time. Who are the people that Cancer needs to be mindful of during October 16th to the 31st, 2020? Who are the people that Cancer needs to be mindful of October 16th to the 31st, 2020 Cancer? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. These 3. We have here the Princess of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What's very interesting is this is right under the Prince of Swords. So there is the sense here of this person being, I'm going to say, a bit of a diva, very much so. This is also going to be a person who kind of falls into alignment of the Prince of Swords. Has that determination, has that passion, has that power, has that insight, that understanding. But there's just going to be a bit of a cuttingness to this person, a bit of a viper's tongue, a bit of an anger. It's like more quick. Yeah, it's quicker to point out flaws, anger, upsets, upheavals, to stir the pot of chaos than it is to move forward in the passion of truth and in the power of knowledge. Yeah, the power of knowledge, of accumulated understanding. And then there is the Queen of Swords, air sign energy. Once again, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is going to be a person who you find rather cold and distant. This is also a person who's fully embracing their own element. So they're fully embracing their truth, what they desire. And you have a very positive Queen of Swords here. And now you have a negative. So there is this sense of at times not being able to fully understand what this person is saying and how this person is moving forward. And then we have the Queen of Cups. This is, of course, a water sign energy, a Pisces, a Scorpio, a Cancer. It's very interesting because while I was shuffling the cards, I almost said Pisces, and I had to stop myself. So it can very well be a Pisces energy coming forward. But there is also a sense of somebody who's just too emotional. And you yourself, all water sign energies have a tendency of being too emotional, just like all air sign energies have a tendency to be a bit cutting, a bit, blunt and to the point of things, and can be a bit hurtful. Here, you do not want to be caught up in other people's traumas and dramas. You just don't. It'll be fun it's kind of like gossip, right? And it is gossip. It's fun to watch, and it's like, ooh, what's going on? But to be pulled into it, or to let it become such a part of you that it takes away from the brilliance of your own life and the truth that you are moving forward in, that's going to be something to be mindful of during this time, and during any time, just to follow the truth of your heart and not be led down this path of, just emotional draining drama. Okay? We have the star, Aquarius energy, January 20th to February 18th, but there's a sense here of, a soul's wish being granted, of beauty coming in. Then we have the Queen of Wands, which is passion, brilliance, understanding, and I love that it's over the Page of Wands. So there's a sense of you learning, but also being the ruler and the monarch of that situation, of having this power, this beauty, this truth guiding you. And then as justice comes in, there's prosperity that leads you forward. There's the King of Pentacles. This is earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is a sense of wealth obtained and brilliance had. You have the Empress, pregnant with possibilities, kind of this beautiful, creative challenge and understanding and brilliance coming forward, this energy that is a part of you and bringing that forward into the world. And then we have justice once again after the Tower. It's like things fall apart, but they fall apart to be rebuilt. And then we have, as you are moved forward, as things are heading forward in this way that is divinely guided, you have the Sun, you have the happiest card in the whole entire deck coming. And as you embrace the Sun, as you let this light shine around you, as you have this tremendous power of these major arcana cards all in the heart as we go deeper, you are crowned as you start to celebrate yourself and you move away from temptations. You're crowned by the World Tree. You're crowned by the world. By the world opening up to you, by a way that felt barred, starting to become truth. And not truth that it is barred, but truth that you can walk forward in a way that you hadn't anticipated, that you hadn't thought. And it leads you to the Five of Wands. Here, this is chaos for the sake of chaos. And as you are moving forward, right, as you're taking up your knowledge and your ideas and you're leaving things behind, there is going to be a nastiness that comes forward, like this viciousness of our own minds. And it shakes up the path, okay? It makes us doubt where we're headed, what we desire, where we need to be, where we want to be. And as you're looking at this, the Seven of Pentacles says be patient. Be patient, because if you fall into the trap of I want it now, it's kind of like the devil handing the person the bag of gold and the ice cream. I want it right now. If you demand for it now, it will not be as powerful, as luscious, as sweet as if it developed, through divine timing. So you're having here the highest form of man's perfection coming forward as you're choosing your roads and you are embracing prosperity that means the world to you. This is divinity seeing not what we cross our fingers and we wish for and say, oh, it'd be so much easier if I had that really fancy watch or that really fancy this or that. But it is what our soul needs. It's what our soul desires. And it's a weight being lifted off of our shoulders because of that. There's also a sense of healing waters being poured into the world, a sense of a calming understanding and a compassionate guide forward. You have here the Queen of Wands. This is passion, determination. This is just like the energy that aids. This is very much a rolling up your sleeves, a not being afraid of getting your hands dirty, and this is going after what you desire. And the way I really am seeing this as kind of like this person with this beautiful cottage and just this beautiful garden around her. the pulling up the sleeves, the planting what is desired for her garden, a sense of pleasure of what she has planted, of what she desires. And it's going from being a student of what brings you joy, of what brings that passion, that fire into your life, to a knowing. It's like, this is what I know to be true for me. This is what I know to be part of what I want and I need within my life. And it leads you to the King of Pentacles. It leads you to the prosperity on this earthly plane, a prosperity that is being planted. You have the earthly plane coming forward with the passion, with the fire of truth, and with the seeds being planted and the harvest coming in. And it's being just to yourself as you see connections that you hadn't seen before, as you look at things more openly, more honestly, and more powerfully. It brings you to this time of creativity and abundance, this time of bringing things forward from within yourself that need to see the light of day. There's a sense of the mind coming in, but also so many valuable insights coming through the pain and hurt that you have been through. And it's like, now it is time to open up the world to your possibilities and open up yourself to the possibilities the world has to offer. Justice comes in after things have fallen apart, after doubts have come forward, and it's a balancing of you. It's a balancing of what it is that you want and where it is that you need to be. And as you start being just with yourself, it's not being just with everybody else. It's saying, this is what I need. It then brings you to the sun shining down. It's like the happiness, joy, success, brilliance, prosperity comes in. But people take you by eyes when you have this joy coming in, especially as it's coming where you feel like, okay, things are a bit topsy-turvy, where it's really moving forward, and you might want to kind of like step back and take it all in a bit more. And you're like, oh my gosh, how am I moving this way? Where am I headed? There is a brilliance that's coming. There is a passion, a beauty, a sense of why, why the hard times, why the angers, the upheavals. And it can be fleeting moments of the sun just shining brightly within you, radiating outward. But that's really what you need. And as you move forward in this truth and in this brilliance, don't let other people rob the beauty of your heart, because they're going to want to. Then we have the world opening up. We believe the doors are closed to us because of the world in general, because of what the world says. These are the type of people who are successful. It's just not going to be you. You didn't make the cut, type of deal. And we're seeing the doors that were barred start to open. We're seeing our truths start to guide us forward. We're seeing our passions, our brilliance, our ideas, our ideals really shape us, lead us, and become a part of us. And so during this time, in the public arena especially, what once seemed completely, out of your reach, completely denied from you, you're going to say, why? Why have I cut that realm of success out of my life? Why have I walked the wrong path? The wrong path for my soul, myself. And why have I let others dictate my world for me? And it's taking the power back. There's going to be this nastiness that comes up. There really is. That sits there and says, oh, you think you deserve this. You really don't. You think you can have this. You really can't. And there's going to be a sense of taking what you know and needing just to move forward from it anyway. Because this is a bit of nastiness being planted within the garden of your beauty, the garden of what you so desire from your life. Have patience. There's that saying, Rome wasn't built in a day. Yes, but Rome also did not fall in a day. It takes patience. It takes patience for things to fall apart. It does, even though sometimes it doesn't feel like that. But it also takes patience, especially then for things to rebuild. And I don't know why Spirit is saying, well, I do know why Spirit is saying when things fall apart. It's because it is so intertwined with the Tower and the Eight of Wands, the sense of this moving forward, the sense of things kind of coming to an end and being pushed out of your comfort zone. Be patient. Be patient with the way that you move forward. Be patient with what it is that you desire. Because there is a sense here of forcing it, of sitting there and saying, it will happen on my time. This is my schedule. This is exactly what I need to do. Where things can kind of become a little bit wobbly. This isn't saying, sit on your couch, eat chips, and divinity will just manifest, boatloads of money into your lap instantaneously. No, that's not it at all. It's hard work. It's dedication. Here, he has crafted his wealth. but he is also polishing it and getting it ready and seeing that the seeds that he has created are worth more than he has imagined. And there's a sense here of the crops that we are harvesting, that we are reaping. They need time to mature. And we can rush them, yes. We can change them, yes. We can, pick the strawberries, cut them up, sprinkle them, or load them with sugar and have them taste sweet when they are not. But this is saying it will be so much more rewarding if things naturally develop. And it doesn't mean that you don't keep your eye on the goal. It doesn't mean that you don't sit there and say, I am moving forward. This is what I want. But it does mean that you don't force it. You don't sit there and say, well, now, and I'm just going to make this square peg fit in this round hole, and that's it. Because you're going to lose so much if you do. Let's see what your spirit animal message is for this time. Cancer. October 16th to the 31st, 2020 Cancer. October 16th to the 31st, 2020 Cancer. October 16th to the 31st, 2020 Cancer. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. So we're starting here with the brown bear spirit. Take time out. Take time to say, you know what, I just need a pause. I just need a time out to connect with the seeds that I am planting within my heart, with what I desire for my life and my soul and myself. It then brings you to the vulture spirit. Nothing is wasted. And that's something that we need to remind ourselves, especially when we're going through those dark nights of the soul, when we're going through times where we just don't understand why, or we're looking back and we're saying, why did that have to happen? Why do I have to be where I am now? If I wasn't broken, that way, if I didn't doubt myself, if I didn't, have that trauma to go through, life would be so much better. And maybe it would, but nothing is wasted. Don't believe that an experience in your life, that nothing will come of it. That it happened just to ruin things. Because there's a reason for our world and ourselves and our power and our grace and our truth. And there is a sense of an interconnectedness. It's kind of like, what is this called? It's called the sky ritual, right? I believe it is. And that is when, I believe it's in the Tibetan ritual, where a person, after they died, their body would be broken on this rock, and then the vultures would come to eat it. And I know that sounds so gross, but I also think it's very beautiful, because it's that circle of existence. It's saying nothing is wasted, and you will always live in something else, in a way that you hadn't anticipated. And that's what I'm seeing here. And I know it might be a bit graphic and a bit, intense of an imagery, but there's a sense of a nourishment that comes through every experience we have been through. And I'm not talking about the super horrific ones. I don't have all the answers. This is our path, individual paths that we are on, and a meditation and an understanding that needs to come, and maybe even working it out with a professional, a mental professional, that can really help us see why the pain had to be there, why we need to move forward this way, and strength within our souls, within ourselves. And then we have the frog spirit. Clear out the clutter. Clear out the clutter of doubt, of anger, of fear, of apprehension. Clear out the clutter in our houses. I mean, Lord knows I need to really embrace the clear out the clutter. It's like a release because we do not come from a place of lack. We come from a place of bounty. Let's see, your subconscious message is the skunk spirit. Know your worth. Know your worth, Cancer, and claim it. It then brings you to your subconscious people message, which is Sagittarius, a time frame November 22nd to December 21st. This is a copulation. This is a coming together, there we go, of ideas and ideals, of people, of thoughts, of desires, of heart's truth, of passion, of understanding. And this is a sense of diving deeper into what you want and profound question asking. Then we have the subconscious chakra message, which is family, the root chakra. Family that you are born into, family who you have grown up with, family, people who have become like family to you, your rooted self is going to be so important to you during this time. A connection with, it can even be with your ancestors as you are moving forward, a sense of, Spirit is saying, a timeless tradition. Your subconscious tarot message is the King of Pentacles. Now you have the King of Pentacles in your going deeper. Now you have the King of Pentacles here. Prosperity, wealth, a claiming the throne, a knowing what you desire, and seeing an interconnectedness that had not been seen before. And then your subconscious tarot, to go deeper, is the Four of Pentacles. There has been vampiric energy around you that has tried to steal away your prosperity. All right, that has tried to take away what you desire and what you want and how you're building and moving yourself forward. This is a time of saying enough is enough and claiming your prosperity and claiming your truth. And this is a purging of negative energy that is around you. To embrace the prosperity that you know you were born to live in. All right, Cancer. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we step into our power and our bounty, as doors open for us that we once thought were impossible to even walk through, and as we realize that there is beauty, strength, and power within us to be utilized and to move us in a direction that we could hardly have anticipated, and that is profoundly beautiful for us. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Cancer.